Welcome to my series of AI videos. Today's video is on WebRTC. If you are dealing with streaming audio, WebRTC is your friend. Okay, let's dive deep in. How WebRTC voice calls work? It's a peer-to-peer audio in the browser. There is no backend media streaming required, and it's real-time communication using WebRTC. Okay, so how does it work? So here is the architecture. So you have the server, it's a signaling server. It uses WebSocket to connect to, say, client A and client B. Say client A is a caller and client B is a receiver. It's actually symmetric. I mean, they can communicate with each other, and both of these are browsers. Okay. So server is there just to help connect, and browsers actually send data directly to each other. Okay. So that's the peer-to-peer architecture. So the first is the signaling phase. How do these clients connect? So say the client A, so it first creates an offer. So it sets the local description. It basically defines the codecs and connection parameters. Okay, so the offer goes to the server. Server sends it to the client, right? So client sets the remote description. Okay, so for this client A, right, it creates an answer. It sets its own local description, right? And the answer sends the description of this client B, and it kind of sets it. Client A, when it receives the answer, it sets it as the remote description. Okay, so this is the connection phase. And next is the ICE candidates phase. So this is for funding network path. It keeps happening continuously. Okay, so it sends a candidate, and which does a ICE add ICE candidate. Okay, uh, then how does the audio flow? So it basically just captures the microphone, right? And uh, then it adds the track. Okay, and that's how they sort of communicate with each other. Okay, so let's look at some to make things a little clearer. Okay, so basically what happens is, this is completely in, like, your HTML code, index.html. It's a JavaScript code, right? So when you start, you basically uh, do this. Okay, when you start, you get the user video, you capture the microphone, and send the audio. Okay, uh, and these are the events, right? Uh, so on track means whenever it receives the audio, you just play it. Okay, so which is basically what that completes the flow. Okay, this ice candidate is another event, right? Basically, it just sends this uh, candidate to the WS, right, which is basically the WebSocket connecting to the server. Okay, uh, and then it creates an offer, right? Shares the local description, and it sends it to the server, right? So basically, this was that uh, signaling phase. Okay. Now, what happens on the server, right? We'll take a quick look. Right. So whenever there is a message, it basically uh, it whatever clients that are there with this server, it basically puts them in this list, right? And every time you get a message from a client, it forwards to rest of the clients. Okay, so this is what you'll see here, right? So this was the start, right? So whenever you receive a message from the server, it's either an offer or an answer, right? So if it's an offer, then you do this same thing again, right? So now this is the remote server or remote client, I would say, right? Which is sort of uh, capturing its microphone, right? With this and sending the audio, right? And then it creates an answer and sends it back. Now, one tricky thing here is that, this WebRTC internally will keep doing this forever, right? Until you close the connection, right? So this will keep happening forever until you close the connection, right? So you won't see like a loop here, which is kind of doing this sort of, add track, right? You capture the microphone and you won't see a loop which will do the add track, right? But then basically that's the internal uh, functioning of WebRTC. Okay, and then answer candidate. Okay, so all this code is here on my GitHub. I'll share it in my YouTube video also, right? So this is my WebRTC repository, and I'll show a quick demo. Right, so I have already started the server, right? So I'm using a Node.js for the server. So I started the server, right? And okay, this is a Python server I started for my browsers, right? Which is what you'll see in this, right? And let me show you the server, right? So I started a server here, right? Now, all that I have to do is I have to start a browser, right? So which is the client, right? So let me start a client, right? So, and basically what I'll do is you'll see in the Python server, it kind of started this. Now I'll start another client, right? So that one is a receiver, one is a sender, okay? And all that I have to do is I have to do a start call, okay? And now it will negotiate the protocol. So you can hear, right? So I'm saying to this browser, it's getting sent to the other browser, which is the other peer, and it's playing the audio, right? So you might be hearing the echo of the audio that is happening, right? Which is this WebRTC functioning in the background. Okay, so good luck with your AI journey, right? Good luck with WebRTC and continue building interesting apps with this AI or audio with this WebRTC, right? So just summary for this WebRTC. WebRTC is peer-to-peer. It uses server only for signaling, right? For negotiation, it uses offer, answer. Okay, so while I'm speaking, you must be listening to my kind of demo code working. Uh, Let me stop that so the echo will stop. Okay, and the ICE is used for path discovery. And in the next video, maybe we can look at some production ready WebRTC, which uses something like a turn server, right? Which is used for reliability. Okay, if you like the video, click like button, subscribe to my channel, and see you in the next video. Bye.